Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. And I'm here today to bring you the review for Shaman King episode 36. So right at the very beginning of the episode, I feel like it's safe to assume that these two kids dealt with Mickey before they went off on their own little venture for vengeance, and obviously ran into Jacko's friends at first and then Jacko. So first off, we have Jacko versus the Golem, and basically I remember last week I was mentioning how it's a little bit out of character for Jacko to go into rage after the old man had taught him to the old man basically got him to a point where he no longer acts out of rage and killing, and which leads to his dream of just making everybody win over the world through laughter, basically. So when I saw him raging last week, I did think it was a little bit out of character, but I also did say that because he's still a kid at the end of the damn day, maybe he could have a slip up and then he'd come round through it, like as things were rolling on forward, and that's essentially what happened as well. So I was happy. I was happy for that, and he wins for a second before like he then lowers his cards, and then the kids actually get their vengeance is told to us, and we see it later on in the episode that he does actually die. So as the episode goes on as well, we then get Yo versus the Golem, and now it's told to us later on after it started that through Anna that the Golem is actually stronger than Yo. But when we actually see the fight play out, Yo does seem to have the upper hand, and he does have the upper hand. And for me personally, this makes sense based on something we are told very early on within the series when Yo best spouts, and that is that it doesn't matter about Furyoku, it does matter to a degree, but there's been many instances where the Red Shaman King has shown us that even if you have even if you have less Furyoku than the person you're fighting, you can overcome them, and also that fighting through just negative emotions can cloud your judgment, and that could also lead to your defeat. That was basically how I felt about Yo and versus the Golem, and you can also see how Yo has learned this lesson. I feel like Yo has learned this lesson throughout his talking within the episode, and yeah, I think for Yo it's just really about learning from that one defeat that he faced because he gave into his anger. So for the most part, Yo is able to tame the beast, so to say, but then he too himself loses God, and it ends up with a very hefty wound. And now, while wounded, Yo does go into a speech with Amidamaru talking about how the Iron Maiden was able to heal what brings someone back to the dead, how the Gangara, that's not it, but the other party was able to bring somebody back to dead, and he's basically come up with his own explanation. It's probably the truth, but his own explanation for it, and he's basically just found out that there's healing techniques for shaman using Furyoku, using oversoul, whatever, and for me it seems like that Yo, he's probably not there yet, but he's coming to a point where he can do this for himself, and I don't know how I feel about that. Part of me wants to say like, it's like it's reach and just coming out of nowhere kind of thing, but he ain't done it yet, and the boy is smart. So can I allow it? Can I allow it? I don't know, but after Yo lowers his guard and he suffers the wound, we basically have the Golem still attacking, and at first I thought, okay, Yo has been able to win over the kid, the boy kid. That was who he was talking to for the majority of the fight. Anyway, maybe now he just has to win over the girl, but that doesn't seem to be the case at all. Because as we roll on later on down the lines, we find out that the girl currently right now has been possessed by their daddy. that just screams bad parenting, and that just screams the classic cliche, that parents in anime are bad. I'm just saying, possessing your little girl. I'm just saying. But as things rolled out, Zeke appears, and obviously Zeke's on the eating, well, rather, the Spirit of Fire's on the eating rampage to get stronger. A lot of Furioku, or man, or whatever they want to call it, presently, so I'm not surprised that Zeke has come to snack, rather the Spirit of Fire has come to snack. So that's trying to roll out right there, right now, at this point in the episode. Obviously, Yo being heavily injured, and otherwise, what's the word I'm looking for? He's basically weaker than everybody, weaker than Zeke and his boys anyway. Overclassed, is that what I was looking for? But basically, yeah, he's basically weaker than everyone there anyway. So even if he was at 100%, there would have been nothing that he can do. But he's trying. He's trying. And then comes Lyzerg and Ren and Trey to help. I'm not gonna say save the day because it's so key right now. They're not levels. They're not ready for that kind of fight yet. So in helps them in to save the day, and we are left off with an interesting thought that I can't really quite understand. So basically, what I'm getting is that, and this better I can understand, is that Liza was puzzled by Yo's words when he said, "You give what you get, or you get what you give," or something like that. But which led to Liza following Yo. I can understand that. And we know about Liza's past, so he could kind of sympathize with the two kids. I get that. So therefore, uh, he watched Jacko get killed, and I get that as well. And but it's what happened after that I don't get. When he was going on about how the bonds of friendship, and that's why he brought everybody there, so they can form a true bond of friendship. I don't get. So if you know what that's supposed to mean, please let me know in the comments. But other than that, I've got nothing to say about this episode. Very good episode, but for only 3-star rating, like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.